Hello everyone, I'm TR Wolf, I live in the northwest of England, and I thought I'd highlight some of the differences in the English language between the Brits and the Americans, as quite a lot of times we end up confused by certain terms and words when reading a blog or chatting to someone in another country. So here goes. The most common one I think so far is going to be soccer. What the Americans call soccer we call football, and what the Americans call football we call rugby, except we have less padding and protection. What else do we have? Parking lot. The American term parking lot in the UK, it's a car park. The hood of a car is the bonnet of a car in the UK, but hood and bonnet, both headwear, the same sort of thing. A windshield is a windscreen, again, same thing. The trunk of a car is known as the boot of a car, which a trunk makes more sense actually when you think about it compared to old cars. On the road, reflectors in the UK are called cat's eyes, just to be a little bit strange. The median in the UK is the central reservation, and a stick shift is known as a gear stick. Most cars in the UK are manual controls, they're not automatic as in the United States. The freeway, or the expressway, in the UK is known as a motorway. I have no idea why, we're all the same thing. One common thing that you don't really get in America that often is roundabouts. They tend to have intersections in America, don't you? Which in the UK are known as junctions, and they have traffic lights instead of having a roundabout. Where you do get roundabouts in America, they're known as rotary circles or traffic circles, or occasionally roundabouts. What else do we have? Food. Everyone likes food. Me especially, it's my favourite, and anything else. In the United States, an eggplant in the UK is known as an aubergine. A cookie in America is known as a biscuit in the United Kingdom, but chocolate chip cookies are still called cookies in the United Kingdom. I'm not sure why. Especially the larger cookies, the sort you can get from Baskin-Robbins and Millie's, they're called cookies. Cotton candy in the United Kingdom is called candy floss, and a common one is French fries in the United Kingdom are known as chips, but they're slightly thicker than French fries. We still say fries as well. What Americans call chips, we call crisps, and what Americans call biscuits, we call savoury scones, or savoury scones. So to us, the idea of a biscuit in gravy is like saying a cookie in gravy, so that's why you might get a few horrified British people reading menus in America going, "Oh my god, biscuit in gravy." Other things, a zucchini. What the Americans call a zucchini is what the British would call a courgette. There's a few other little things as well. Fish sticks, gotta say that properly, in the United Kingdom are known as fish fingers. And what the Americans call jelly, we call jam, and what we call jelly, they call jello. So it's just to be confusing. Oatmeal is known as porridge in the United Kingdom. One that I found unusual in America, if Americans talk about eating pudding, they refer to what in Britain we could only call flavoured custard. In the United Kingdom, if you ask for a pudding, you're asking for a hot dessert like a chocolate fudge cake or a steamed pudding, something like that. Generally, a dessert that's cold we would call a dessert. What else do we have here? Some of the normal things. Anti-clockwise, counterclockwise, both the same thing. In America, especially on TV, you get the whole check please. In the United Kingdom we don't say check, that we'd say ask for the bill. A check is what you write out to someone, you know, it's an amount thing. Some other interesting things with things like clothing. I remember asking about wearing braces in the United States to a friend, and he thought I meant the type that you put on your teeth, like the Ugly Betty wears. He meant what the Americans call suspenders, which are what we call braces, but in the United Kingdom, if you say you were wearing suspenders, you mean you were wearing garters in America. So don't say that here, because you'll get a strange look. The other one that you'll get a strange look for is don't say, when referring to your rear end, that your fanny's too big, or something like that, because in the United Kingdom, fanny is a slang word for vagina, so it will get a few strange looks, especially if you mention things like that. Other simple things, a drugstore in America is called a chemist in the United Kingdom. Holidays. When a Brit says he's going on holiday, he means he's going on vacation. When Americans refer to Christmas as being the holiday season or enjoying a holiday, they mean a celebration time like Christmas or Easter or something. The Brits don't generally use that, so I can't really compare it. A dummy, not just a shop dummy. A dummy in the UK is what Americans would call a pacifier. Sticking with babies, a diaper is a nappy in the United Kingdom. What is that? A few things to do with things like school and writing. If someone says in America, he wrote me, they mean he wrote to me. It doesn't make sense in British that someone can't write you unless they're writing you as a character or something. They would have to write to you. And at the end of a sentence, you would put a full stop, not a period. That has only the one meaning over here. So it's a full stop in the United Kingdom. Few things, mechanical sort of things. A truck in the United Kingdom is often called a lorry. It's smaller than a huge 18-wheeler. An 18-wheeler we would call a juggernaut, but we don't call them trucks. Oh, that's another one referring to stationery and things. A rubber. If we asked to borrow a rubber, if we could use your rubber, we're referring to an eraser. And yes, rubber has the same slang meaning on both sides of the ocean, but yeah, generally we'd say a rubber, not an eraser. Mechanical-wise, a spanner. What you guys would call a wrench, we call it a spanner. So you throw a spanner in the works, you throw a wrench in the works, same thing. What else was there? A faucet. A faucet in the United Kingdom is known as a tap, and both sides of the ocean also call it a spigot, but very rarely. One that really confused me, I remember watching a movie, was when someone mentioned a realtor and realty. I have no idea what that meant until recently when I found out that the UK equivalent is an estate agent. So in the UK we'd say an estate agent, in America you'd generally say a realtor, which I don't quite understand that word. What else? In clothing. In Britain, if you say you're wearing a vest, you mean the American equivalent of an undershirt, whereas Americans would say a vest when they mean what Brits would call a waistcoat. What else is there? Oh, an interesting one. Fags. Fags and faggots. Let's discuss this. A fag in the United Kingdom can mean a gay person. It also usually means a cigarette, slang term, like a cig, a fag, going out for a fag. Whereas in America it only means, there's only slang for gay, isn't it? The other one is a faggot, which confuses a lot of people. Yeah, in Britain we say faggot to mean gay as well, but a faggot in the United Kingdom, it's also an old traditional food. It's like a meatball served with gravy, and it's actually really horrible, but that's a faggot as well. So you'll see people, Americans in Britain, taking photos of themselves with packets of Mr. Brain's faggots and finding it really amusing, as well as spotted dick. That's another one. Spotted dick is a steamed pudding with dried fruit and raisins and things. That's why it's called spotted, because of the raisins and everything. I have no idea why it's called dick. I don't know any British people who do, so yeah. What else? If I was to say to you, oh, cheers, cheers, it means thank you. We still use it to mean, you know, good health and everything when you're making a toast, but cheers generally is a casual way of saying thank you. What else? A dumpster. What Americans call a dumpster, the British call a skip. Again, no idea why. Dumpster makes more sense. If you're going to call someone in the UK, you might ring them. I'm going to ring a person. So someone would say, go and ring your mother, not go and call your mother. But I think they're both really used. With animals, you don't pet them, you stroke them. Not in that way, so no ideas there. If you were to pet the dog, you'd stroke the dog because you're stroking its coat, so that makes more sense. Garbage in the United Kingdom is generally called rubbish. Rubbish also means, you know, that's terrible. Take that rubbish away from that's rubbish. Boo. Same sort of thing. Garbage. I've just done garbage, haven't I? Cell phones. Cell phones are known as mobile phones in the United Kingdom, but we don't say mobile phone, we say a mobile. Oh, I'm just on my mobile. Where the same way Americans might say I'm just on my cell. I can't think of many other things. Things like a flashlight. A flashlight in England is called a torch. A torch in America, I think, only means the type that you light, which it means in the United Kingdom as well. Oh, and the other one, this one, a lot of Americans don't understand, is the word bollocks. Now, the word bollocks in the United Kingdom literally is slang for testicles, but it also means like bullshit. Oh, bollocks! That's a load of bollocks to it. But it is used quite commonly, but not as commonly as it was in the movie V for Vendetta. I cannot think of anything else right now, but feel free to ask any questions. If you have anything, I'll try and answer it. And if I can think of anything else to contribute, I'll make another posting. Thanks for listening. I know it's been a long one, but hey, I got it done. Bye bye.